I smell a socialist. I smell a communist. And this is my thoughts while thinking, and these opinions are mine. And wokeness is just a cult, and think about that. It's just a wild cult, and it's an aggressive ideology preached by the self-endowed progressives, which are creating a modern-day segregation. Now think about that. We spent all these years desegregating. Now we want to segregate again. That'll do a thinking. And the cult of wokeness is a critical race theory by the means of diversity, inclusion, and equity. And Jefferson had something to say about that. He said there's nothing more unequal than treating unequal people equally. Now think about that. We got to get away from that. Everybody ending up the same. We can start the same, but we all finish different. All this wokeness really started and it started escalating in back in the 1950s when we had that Cold War. And then in the 60s, it just kind of escalated, and the absurdity level has just increased tremendously and accelerated over the years. Now, think about that absurdity here we have. And in 1960, it started really with the fanfare of equal and fairness, like a feminist movement. But the real reason for the feminist movement wasn't for the rights of women. It was to increase socialism and increase and take away your freedoms, and that's where it all began. And think about that. And in the 60s, that's where the war on police started and defunding the police. Now think about it. You think that's probably modern, but that goes back to the early 60s. Now we got to look at all this stuff and find out why it's happening and where it's going to. And, this wokeness is just trying to put a black face on Uncle Sam. And, that's not the way it works in the real world. We got to think about that. And we got to wonder why all the major corporations are going woke and driving it down your throat and pushing it on you. Now think about all of this stuff. Amazon is one of the biggest purveyors of this wokeness, and we got to think about what we're doing there and support these people. Why are we doing that? Wokeness is just a mask. It just covered up communism and socialism and taking away your rights and freedoms. Now think about that. This is thoughts while thinking. We got to do a lot of thinking, and wokeness has took over our sports, our major sports, and they're working on the college sports now since they've taken over all the professional sports and stuff, and they're just driving it down. And we don't have Black Lives Matter. It's Black Lives Matter. Think about it. There's a difference. And we got to think about all that stuff. And all it is about defunding the police and getting it to where we're cutting our country on fire. And, we got election fraud so bad that in Arizona just announced they finished counting Calvin Coolidge's and he won 3 electoral votes. Now, that's got to be funny. It's got to be ridiculous. But that's what the fraud of our elections are. It's ridiculous, and it's showing that. And these are two of the guys that's responsible for it and what they stand for. And anything that is white is racist. Now, think about that. I don't like to be called a racist because I don't think I am. But, just because I have white skin makes me a racist. Now, think about that. And, no matter which way you look at it, they are just trying to do away with masculinity in the white male, and all males for that matter. And, they're making you look like a future woman. Is this a war on women? I don't know. But I know the racist deal is a war on everybody that is of white nature and Caucasian, and we got to think about all that stuff. And we even got a war on black people and now calling them white racist. I'm telling you, we got to go there. And the FBI, they've taken over. They've got into politics now. they're trying to decide who is the elected president and who's not by investigations and stuff. And they're just burning down our country. They're setting it afire, and they're burning up our liberties and the rights of our country. And the U.S. Army and the military has started their wokeness too, and that's just destroying our ability to fight a major war. Think about it. We got to do something. Our defenses are down, and the government has made Arizona take down their containers there that they had blocking those invasions of people coming across the border, and the president, he's got his cowboy hat on and said, we don't have a bad economy. We don't have inflation. We don't have depression. And yet, when you go to the store and look at the prices and the availability of items, think about it. You've got that experience. You know about it. And that wokeness needle is pegging the button over there. And some way or another, we got to get rid of this wokeness. We got to try to hammer some sense into stupidity. I don't think it'll work no matter how hard we pound it, but we got to do something about it. And it's just one more thing and after another. It's just one more again and again. And a wise man can be found walking alone, but a coward is always in a crowd. Now think about that. Think about who's walking alone and who's in a crowd. And it's a lot better for us to lick our wounds and be battle scarred than to kiss and compromise your values. Fight the good fight. We got to keep fighting the good fight. And the good things come to those who believe it'll be better, and it comes to better. And we've got to work on coming into it. And that's all, folks, and that's my thoughts while thinking. And these are my opinions are mine and mine alone. And we'll see you on the flip side.